So I taught myself how to make mozzarella. And it was one of those things where a lot of our food suppliers said to me, you just buy the mozzarella, who cares? No one makes the mozzarella anymore. And my mantra when we first opened was, if I can buy it, then I should be able to make it. We're super excited for the fall because we're really going to be incorporating a lot of the ingredients that are local and seasonal. It's all those Tony Baloney-esque, fun, goofy, grubbish kind of food. We're able to put pumpkin in, and apricot, and squash, apples, and a host of other ingredients, but obviously have our twist on it. So we use local and seasonal produce for a number of reasons. The one main reason is that it's here. We're supporting the local economy, we're supporting local labor, we're supporting local practices, and making sure that those businesses' jobs are more sustainable than they otherwise would be. On top of that, thanks to our friend Luke Palladino, he let me know a couple years ago that it's actually less expensive. And plus it just feels good having something so close to home that we're then using and feeding back to the people that potentially make it. Good food is something that hugs you, personally. I want to be hugged by my food. I want to love my food and my food to love me. Did that make any sense?
Yeah.
It did kind of come from the heart.
And we also had a field trip here last year. We had the kids come to the club, and I made them lunch and took them on a tour of the kitchen, and it was huge. In fact, I have one of the kids that were here that day for the field trip has been in about 3 times this summer requesting the dish that we made the day that he was here for his field trip. So it's really turned out to be a lot of fun. I'm making pan-seared jumbo shrimp with crispy grits and fall vegetables, some pumpkin and poblano chilies and a little bit of pear and red onion, and that's sauteed and made into like a marmalade with the shrimp over the crispy grits. I would say my favorite fall vegetable is pumpkin. I think that is like the first hint of fall when you see pumpkins in the stores and at the markets, and I've got a couple of great kids. Actually, my son's 13. When he sees pumpkins now, for years he wouldn't eat pumpkin pie. Now it's like his favorite thing. I think it's a very underutilized vegetable, first of all. It's one of the reasons I like it so much. For the home chef, I would say to keep it simple. A lot of these good fresh vegetables don't need a whole lot of production. Take advantage of the flavors that you have when it is ripe and in season, and try not to cloud it too much with too many other ingredients.
Mostly we incorporate seasonal items into our menu addition, which we call sustainable menu. And not only is it sustainably fresh from the farm, but it's also ingredients that are environmentally sound in their harvest, which is not just produce, just seafood and meat items as well. We'll see the return of one of our dishes from last fall. It's a maple pecan crusted salmon that we make with sauteed Swiss chard and dried cranberries, and that's a top of a butternut squash puree. Well, I have to say this time of year, working with all the different winter squashes and pumpkin, it's very versatile and one of my favorites, I'd say. Well, good food is actually fresh, the freshest food that you can get. The freshest product is the easiest for a chef to turn into a fine meal for customers. We're actually well known for year-round Jersey tomatoes. As I've matured and got older, I don't think I really have a least favorite vegetable. Advice for the home chef would be, when shopping for fresh ingredients, buy fresh, buy local if you can, and just don't buy too much. Don't have it sit around your house. Cook fresh.
My inspiration a lot is the fresh produce. When I go down to the market, something looks awesome, I grab it. If it speaks to me, I pick it up, it lands up on my specials. Why fresh and seasonal? When it's in season, the produce is at its best, and it's also cheapest. And I can pass that value on to my customers. I like most everything with the quinoa. I like the feel good. Quinoa quesadilla, they're two of my favorites. I'll give you a couple of my favorite veggies. I like eggplant because of the diversity, all the things that you can do to it. It's kind of like a blank slate. I also like kale because it's so nutritious. It makes you feel really, really great when you're done eating. We do a lot of fresh squeezed lemonades. We use actual real fruit, and they're good for you. I do a blackberry ginger. We also do elixirs, which have benefits too. What I picture for the spot is a place where people could go after work that are in the business that know how to eat. People that want something a little different, they want something fresh. Stuff that's never been frozen, stuff that's never been in a can. We don't even have a can opener here.
Good food to me is not in a can, not in a bag, not frozen, fresh. Our seafood, our beef, our eggs, our dairy, everything is fresh, and especially the stuff out of the garden. It's so fresh. That's good food. And when you wash any kind of vegetable that's grown out of the ground, you always submerge it in water and agitate it and pull it out of the water, and any dirt that's left on it, it will fall down. I make this corn and crab chowder that is served in all three properties, and it is so good, and I actually use the stalks in the broth. You'll see some beets, you'll see some beet salads, you'll see some fried beets, you'll see some, especially corn and crab chowder, you're gonna see that, and the Yukon golden potatoes, when they come out the ground, they are the best potatoes that I've ever prepared. They are. My favorite item on the menu is a sear scallop over Parmesan and tomato risotto with a lobster beurre blanc and sugar snap peas. This is the Garden State. So when we're in the Garden State, we need to use, represent what our state really does. And we got the best produce. That's why they named us the Garden State. So whenever we get like Jersey tomatoes, they're like, you can't get them nowhere else but in Jersey. That's what we do at Doc's. We do it fresh.
For pastries, I don't like to use canned stuff at all. I don't like to preserve or freeze them. In this restaurant, we try to keep everything as fresh as possible and try to make everything daily. And that's it. For the fall, I would probably stick with apples. Apples, pears, and some kind of vegetables sometimes that we do use for pastries, pumpkin and spices, and you use more brown sugar, a little bit of flour and certain things. It kind of goes with the fall. It never even crossed my mind that I was going to be where I'm at this moment, which I think I feel like I've achieved a thing that at least that my kids admire me, like in a way that that they want to be like me, and they want to be pastry chefs. That makes me happy. My favorite fruit, it's Jersey peaches. Why? Because they look amazing when you first see like a ripe peach, and you're like, want to eat it, and then you touch it, and it's soft, and you just put it in your mouth, and it kind of just melts in it. So that's why. Good food to me, it's good ingredients, top-notch things. That's it. Local and fresh.